trends for the teams continue, winning for New England and the wrong side of it for the New York Giants. As always, we visit with the men in the booth, best booth in the business. It's Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. And Joe, we had a chance to talk to Troy about this New England team on Countdown. I want to ask you about it. I mean, in this somewhat odd year where a number of teams that we presume would be great aren't or are struggling a little bit, and there's an absence of a great team, maybe there is a great team, and it's right here in Foxborough. What did they show you tonight?
Man, they are physical. I think that's the word that jumps into my mind. I think defensively, we talked all night about Drake Maye, and why wouldn't you? You have to. The young man is phenomenal. He's only 23 years old, humble guy, very mature, comes from that sports family. But you see what Vrabel's doing. That's more of that touchy-feely stuff, and he's got a good thing going here. But that defense, they were out for it tonight, and they're having fun. They've taken on the kind of the personality of their head coach. That they cannot be fun to play against. I promise you that. And I just think in all three phases, this was a dominant New England Patriots team.
Troy, you praised the accuracy of Maye pregame, and we saw that in a couple of the highlights that we just showed. In terms of the other character traits that you hope to see out of truly great franchise quarterbacks, I imagine it's a long list, but where else do you go after the accuracy, which I know catches your eye?
Well, I think he's got tremendous poise in the pocket. First of all, he never gets rattled. He was brought up the right way. You can tell he's been well coached. Certainly has helped having Josh McDaniels. But he's got a good feel for where he needs to go with the football. He gets through progressions. He's helping out his tackles. I just think he's playing the game at a really high level, and for him to be just in his second year is really impressive. They did a great job. And as we talked about on Countdown, Scott, I thought he played exceptionally well last year as a rookie as well. But the supporting cast this year is just so much better. So to take a guy who was pretty well prepared to come in and play well in this league, and then just get Josh McDaniels in here that has just taken it to another level, but to get really good players around him, it's a real credit to the organization for doing that for a young player. And the defense, like Joe said, I mean, this is a complete team. They're playing great special teams, great defense. All of that helps a young quarterback, and we've seen Drake Maye benefit from it all.
Scott, I know you want to jump in, but I just watching that video.
Yeah.
Are these guys having any fun right now? I mean, this is different around here, and different than even. I mean, he is a different head coach, I think, now even than when he was in Tennessee, but far different with what he's doing in the tunnel there than we've seen here in Foxborough.
I totally agree, and that was the last thing I was going to ask you, Joe. We're like an old married couple. You can read my mind. You can read my mind down here. I've been a guy that, like you, I've known Vrabel going back to his playing days, so I always had an admiration for sort of who he was. But I think if people viewed him as some sort of meathead or whatever, you're totally missing it. He has an ability to connect with his guys in a genuine way, and they are responding to it, and you are seeing it play out in real time here. I just think that they're manifesting sort of who he always was as a player, but I'm amazed that it's happened this quickly. Are you?
Yeah, I think I'm not amazed, but
that's the wrong word.
But I'm impressed. I'll say that because, like Carlton Davis said during the week, Mike Vrabel has told his players, don't take yourselves too seriously. I mean, think about that. Don't take yourselves too seriously. And typically you hear, get in your playbook and grind away and, do it the right way and all that. They're doing all that, but they're having fun while they're doing it. And, you probably know Mike. He knows Mike. I've been around Mike socially, seen him out in Tahoe. I mean, he is a funny, fun-loving guy. He's a very serious head coach. But I think these guys are picking up more on the fun from Mike Vrabel, and they're turning in great performances. They want to play for him.
Well, when you win part of that, Scott, I would tell you, he's tough at his core. I mean,
for sure.
He can be fun, but at his core, he's as tough as they come. He was that way as a player, and his teams are tough, and that's what's going to carry him.
They're making it look easy, and you guys both know it's not. 10 wins in a row, you're going to have some fun. We'll have some fun next week indoors at SoFi. You guys be well and travel out to LA safe. We'll talk to you there. And we welcome Marcus Jones to the set as the Patriots get the victory, and you had a 94-yard punt return in the first quarter, which was an electrifying moment. I was just chatting with you off air about the feature we had and your off-the-field interest, but man, what you guys are putting on the field right now and on tape is remarkable. How do you best describe the emotion and the confidence that lives inside your locker room right now?
Yeah, man, I love it. You know, we take it 1 week at a time, and in the National Football League is so important. You know, and we have a lot of guys that's buying in every single day. You know, there's no complacency in the building. So whenever you have that, you're definitely taking the right step forward. So just making sure we stay on task.
We were talking again just a moment ago off air about your coach, Mike Vrabel. And I'm going to crush him because I invited him out here, but I guess he didn't want to come out here in the cold and chat with me. I'm more than happy to visit with you. But when a guy has lived it the way he's lived it, when he's on pictures around the walls of your building, winning rings, he's got the bona fides to be able to tell you this is what it is, and it's the truth. How much does it help when he's the guy messaging the things about staying on point and staying on task week to week?
It means a lot. You know, he's been in our shoes. He's been a player. He definitely knows what it takes to win as well. So whenever you have someone that backs it up like that, you definitely want to listen to him for sure.
And you guys want to be in his shoes, and by that I mean championship shoes. And it's wild how quickly this feels like it's turned from the outside. When did you all start to know that this is building to something that could perhaps be like this? Understanding the work's not done, but I mean, from the folks on the outside, like 11-2 wasn't something, I'm just being honest, I didn't know that was possible for you all, and here you are. When did you know?
Yeah, I would say it started with OTAs. You know, we got to know everyone. Everyone described how they got into football and everything, talked about, you know, their kids, you know, all types of stuff like that. And, you know, I feel like that off-the-field stuff ends up going to on the field as well. You know, you end up having friends and things like that. And as time went on, you know, we built a lot of relationships. That's
really cool. I'm going to get to your punt return in a minute. Last year at the finals, Jalen Williams mentioned to me from the Oklahoma City Thunder, he said, the most valuable thing I shared with my teammates was my time, because we have nothing more valuable than that. And bonding away from the arena can have real value that then shows itself on the field. I mean, you guys, sounds like you're experiencing that.
Yeah, I would say even like on our off days, like us DBs, we would literally watch film and have Chick-fil-A.
It's exactly what he said. He said him and Chet Holmgren, we'd come home and like do pick and roll video. I mean, like, it's not boring, it's important, isn't it?
It's very important. You know, you have to put in a lot of overtime when it comes down to this game, you know? Yeah. You can't cheat the game at all, and you got to take advantage of every opportunity you get.
Well, I mean, it's hard to win in this league. That's what everyone says. You all are making it look easy. I know it isn't, but you all roll into your bye as hot as anyone. Now, I do a lot of golf where you will show the guys the video, and they'll say, could you describe this? Football doesn't lend itself to that, but this punt return might. So I think we've got the punt return that you had. I'm putting our there we go. All right, so when you field it and you look up, what do you see?
The first thing is that I've seen a lot of space. I've seen my guys working hard and trying to, you know, be in the right position. And the main thing I try to do is make them correct. You know, it's hard to end up blocking a guy, especially when he sees where the ball is and you don't. Mm-hmm. So what I try to do is just make my guys correct, and I commend my guys definitely for blocking, man, because without them, I couldn't have made that play at all.
I don't know how much you are for just the idea of history and where you fit in, but you have the highest punt return average in the history of the National Football League. A 94-yarder helps, but I mean, when you hear that, what's your first thought?
Man, it's crazy because, you know, sometimes we just get lost in the game, you know, and people talk about, you know, history and things like that, and we're just like, man, like, sometimes you need to sit back and settle in. And the first thing I think about is all the times with my dad when I was little, he'll throw the ball in the air and teach me how to catch punts and be like, track it.
That's awesome.
And I remember those little times whenever I was little. And, you know, now I'm in the National Football League catching punts and things like that, and just trying to take advantage of every opportunity. So, I think about small things like that.
Well, I just smiling because as a dad with some young kids, all they want to do is throw the football in the driveway. I'm happy to do it with them anytime that they want. I don't think my kid's going to do what you do, but it's still the same connection, which is so important. I'm gonna share some sound with folks in a moment of Drake Maye with Lisa Salters in a second. I just am interested in how you describe what you're seeing from this guy that you've got this place chanting MVP, MVP. What's he show you guys daily and weekly?
Yeah, I would say, man, he's a competitor. You know, you could definitely see the confidence anytime he's in the pocket. Us on the sideline, whenever we see him throw the ball, we're thinking it's going to be a big play every time.
Yeah.
We have a lot of confidence for him. And everyone on the offensive side, whatever he say, they're doing it with no questions asked. So I love to see that.
My man was out here in no sleeves and no hat, and they're from North Carolina. I'm like, it's cold out here, dude. But he's red hot, so are you. Continued good success. Congratulations on a big night out there tonight. Enjoy the bye week and keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate you.
For sure. Appreciate you as well.
It's 11-2 are the Patriots. They are setting the pace in the AFC. Ahead of Denver, who's 10-2. I thought Joe made a great point. In this year, with who are the best teams? Well, you've got the Bears, the Broncos, and the Patriots with the best records at the moment. On the right-hand side, you see those Kansas City Chiefs. You're just not going to get rid of them, although they are sitting at 6-6, as hard as that might be to believe. I mentioned Drake Maye visited with Lisa Salters. Here's their conversation.
What felt good to you tonight?
Yeah, I think just being out here on Monday night in Foxborough, Gillette, being with the fans, being with Zoe, baby. Just the teammates. We've got a great team. Got great coaches. I believe in this team a lot. I think we do some things down the road, but we're taking it one week at a time and look forward to the bye week.
So close to 300 yards passing, but still not there. What's up with that?
I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about winning. That stuff will come down the road, and we're about winning right now.
What impressed you about the way your defense played tonight?
Yeah, they bring it every week. They keep on making plays. Late in the game when we need stops, they make plays. I used to face them every day in practice. They're tough to handle, and we just got a great group. I enjoy being around these guys. I love these guys, and we're faith-driven, and this team is going to go do some great things.
Drake, you're a second-year guy, and you're hearing chants of MVP. Just what does that mean to you?
Yeah, I think we've been trying to give something for these fans to cheer for, and that's what we've done. 10 in a row. Is that 10 in a row? How many is that? 10 in a row? Yeah, 10 in a row, and we got some work left to do, but no, just so proud of this team, and these fans have been awesome.
We talked about it pregame. This is something that you dreamed about as a little kid, playing on Monday Night Football. Other than getting the win, obviously that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
What will you remember? And hopefully this is the first of a long career for you on Monday night. What will you remember most about this game?
I think being these Reds, finally getting a win in these red jerseys, these throwbacks, they're sweet. Finally getting a win in them, and just Monday Night Football. Got to show up on prime time when the lights are bright.
Well, it was great watching you play. Congrats on the win.
Thanks so much. Go Pats.
And I think he's able to keep his composure, keep his eyes downfield. I thought he makes some of the best plays. I think are just the extensions, the scramble for a first down. To scramble and stay in bounds there late in the game, knowing the situation, forces them to call a timeout, and then, not throw an incompletion there at the end of the game, and, scramble. And selfishly, probably could have said, hey, I'm going to try to throw a touchdown and, just go and slide and use the clock. So those are the things that probably don't show up on the stat sheet. I thought, being accurate downfield and being able to give Kayshawn a real catchable ball there in the end zone was nice too.
Also,
I don't know if people at home know this, but Ryan Clack's going to run for mayor of Foxborough here. He asked the folks, are they going to win the Super Bowl? And, of course, they were
Hey,
cheering.
early on, somebody said, Scott, I got the mass accent for you.
Yeah.
I can't do it, by the way.
That's quite all right. As soon as I do it, I start cursing, and it's not midnight, and we're not on ESPN2, which means I'm not allowed to. Back to the topic at hand, which is the Patriot team. And in the absence of a singular great team in the NFL this year, I asked Joe Buck, maybe there is one. Maybe it's this Patriot team. I get the schedule, but they've won 10 in a row. What are they showing you?
I think the problem is when we see some teams like this that haven't proven things previously or prior to the year, we find it hard to believe, and we want to critique and pick those teams apart. And you said it in the pregame. They can only play the teams that are on the schedule. But when you win double-digit games in a row, it says that you are a team that's made a habit out of winning. Think about all the teams, the New York Giants on this field, the amount of times they've gone into the fourth quarter with the lead and lost those leads. It speaks to their consistency. It speaks to their preparation. It speaks to the steadiness of their quarterback and the ability of their defense to execute in the most important moments. And we won't know if this is a great team until they execute in the playoffs. But right now, this is one of the very best teams in all of the NFL, and they're going to get their opportunity to show us just how great they can be.
I know I'm guilty of it, and I joked about it on Countdown, that I'm stubbornly hanging on to teams that I won't divorce myself from the idea that the Chiefs are good.
Can't quit them.
Because I've seen it. I can't quit the Ravens. I can't quit the Lions. The Eagles, they're still in first place, but they look a little bit wobbly at the moment. And I want to not be guilty of not buying into the Bears and the Broncos and the Patriots. And the Patriots are giving us ample reason to believe, and I think Vrabel's part of it. I think this defense, who was incredibly physical tonight, is part of it. But Maye's the guy that we go, you got a chance because of that guy. The traits that he shows you. What are you seeing, Ryan?
So you know what was funny? You saw these traits last year. They just weren't as good of a team. Right. He showed you the legs. He showed you the ability to improvise. He showed you that he could push the football down the field, the composure, the poise. But the rest of the team wasn't up to par. And during the offseason on Get Up, I talked about Drake Maye because they asked, what thing or what human, what team aren't we speaking about enough? And I said the chance for his ascension. And the pushback was the people around him may not be ready, but this team is. Kayshon Boutte and him, they have this sort of connection. Stephon Diggs has played well this year, but now you're seeing the Hunter Henrys, the Kyle Williams come up and make big plays. And this team is a team that's difficult to stop because they can beat you on the ground and through the air because of their young quarterback.
And his head coach, Mike Vrabel, who has lived it as a player, and that Patriot way. It's about teams, not about me. Miss Lisa tried to get him to try to have some fun with the idea of what they're doing and who he is. And he's like, I don't care.
Doesn't he have,
and
I want to ask you this, listening to him, wasn't there a sort of purity, though,
no
in
question,
the way that he approached football?
Listen, I buy it all, and it's that whole younger brother thing. I saw one of his older brothers who played at Carolina here today, and it's like, man, you guys, the little brother that had great athlete big brothers, it's the little one that's got a chance to be the most special of them all, and you're seeing it.
And a lot of times it's because that one's more talented, but it's because of what they learned, what they got to see, what they got to experience, the level of competitiveness that you had to have just to get the ball in your house. And you see that on the field with Drake Maye. And make no mistake about it, even though he understands I don't need 300-yard games, it's not about the accolades, he's an absolute dog on the field.
No question. When you're the little kid, you're the little one of the big brothers. You got to fight like a wild man to get the toy out of the cereal box at the bottom. You know what I mean? You're seeing it, and he's playing at an elite level.